I think I've already made this video, but I'll make it again. Uniforms. Like I said, I made a bunch of uniforms, and back in the old days, clothes used to be really expensive. And some black people wanted 5,000 uniforms, so they ordered 5,000 matching uniforms, but they only got like 1,000 or 2,000 uniforms, basically. I think they got, maybe they didn't get the full 5,000. I think they actually ordered like 15,000 uniforms, basically, and they wanted me to put out 15,000 pairs of pants or 15,000 jackets or whatever, and shirts and stuff. And basically there's Papa's boys and the black boys basically wanting some uniforms. And pretty much their bottom uniforms were these really baggy red pants, basically like the Bloods would wear or something like that. I guess they might have eventually become the Bloods and the Crips pretty much. But basically they had a bunch of baggy pants, baggy red pants, and gray cotton or wool jackets. And they were called, people called them the brown coats or gray coats or whatever. I think they were called the gray coats. And basically they're black people wearing gray coats and red pants, pretty much. And there's also probably the brown coats or whatever, which is basically, there's black and brown, pretty much. And they're basically just black people, and they were pretty much, they just ordered a bunch of clothes that they couldn't pay for. And basically it's like a sweatpant. The pants were like sweatpants, basically. And, they showed them off to me, and I was like, I don't want those. No, because they were showing a bunch of uniforms. I was like, no. And I really actually didn't like any of the uniforms that they had. And I eventually did choose some uniforms, or I actually had them. I was like, no, I don't like any of these. And I was like, or I might have liked one. I'd be like, well, that one's kind of okay. And they were wearing all these weird, outrageous things. I was like, no, I want something clean, something usable, something that just looks good. Like everything they had all these lacy stuff and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I guess for parade, but I mean, my troops actually do stuff. We don't just walk around looking all good and stuff. Like my troops actually like Papa actually asked for some lot nicer clothes, but they wouldn't give it to him. They're like, no, we're not doing that. Anyway, though, my troops actually would do stuff. My troops actually fight. My troops actually run through battle. Like they had all these frilly lace stuff, and I was like, no, something clean, something nice, something simple, something that looks really good though. Maybe some bead on the collars or something like that. Maybe some bead or some light stuff, to kind of like outline it a little bit. Not too flashy, but not too much. Like nice, proper, clean lines. Maybe a little bit some shoulder pads or something like that, but nothing like outrageous or anything else like that. Like I say too, and another thing though is that my troops, they actually go into battle and they actually go into the mud and stuff. They don't just look around and look all nice and good. So, they also had to make something more durable that would actually last, because of course, a lot of the people who ordered the nice clothes, their clothes wore out really quickly because they got in the mud and dirt and then they got ruined. Whereas I ordered something and I was like, it needs to be more durable. So we started working on more durable clothing that would actually last, so they could actually like get in the mud, because like my troops, they crawl through the mud, they go underneath rebar. You don't want something that's going to catch on your back, when you're trying to crawl underneath rebar and die or something like that. Which actually did get some of the other people, whatever. I mean, like I say, my government, my troops, they're real. They go into combat and they're expected to defend America and defend me and defend, their children and their grandchildren and their wife. My troops, they needed real weapons and real guns, and guns that didn't jam on you but would actually fire, and real bulletproof vests that would actually like stop a bullet really good. Anyway, though, I mean, technically, they're supposed to be protecting me and guarding our country. Not running around selling drugs and doing all that other stuff. Like, that's not their job. Their job is to protect freedom and peace, which basically means to stomp out oppression and just stop bad people from doing bad things. That's what they always did. That's what Germany did. That's what Britain basically kind of did. To stop fraud and to, keep people from dying. Stop that guy on the mountaintop with the nuclear bomb. That kind of stuff. Real stuff. We actually used to do that. We still do, somewhat. I mean, You know, in the old days, you'd find somebody with a 50 cal and inside of an old town just going, you know, or like Tommy guns just shooting up the damn town. And like that's what my military is for, is to deal with those kind of people. You know, deal with the people that would rob a train or wreck a train or you know or steal a tank and start blowing up stuff. Anyway, that's you know they actually have a real job. You know, we used to build bridges. We used to build bridges like that and stuff like that. You know, that's what my military did. You know, build that exact bridge and you know, stuff like that. Anyway, so we did real things. Anyway, though, I sent back the ones. Anyway, Papa and his group eventually did get them, and of course they become a problem. And of course they tried to raid a town. Of course, the real military put them down. Actually, I think the townspeople put them down because they just got tired of their things. They're basically Bloods or Crips or whatever. That's pretty much who they're related to, is those people. Brown coats and gray coats with red pants. I know all the colors because I ordered them. Actually, I didn't order them. I was like, no. And I said, who ordered that anyway? They didn't want to give me the name, of course, but yeah. Anyway, they just want free clothing. They couldn't afford it. They ordered 15,000 pairs, but they only got like 2,500 or 5,000 pairs. And I think they ended up selling them to townspeople or something so they could have a bigger group, but then they actually were. Once the people found out what it was about and why the pants were red, they took them all off and bought their own clothes. Sold them for rags. Because it was so when they raped women, you know, they wouldn't leave a mark on their pants. And a lot of women didn't like it. Anyway, that's what the Bloods and the Crips used to do, is go around raping people and killing little girls, raping little girls, and they probably should have been exterminated. They think it's kind of cool to walk around with a red scarf or handkerchief. It's like, do you know what that really means? Do you know where that comes from? It comes from the gray coats, the rapists and murderers that used to kill little children and slice their guts open and hang them and actually sell their gut for belts and pulleys. That's what they used to do. So, I don't know where you're from. Brown coats. I don't know where the Crips come from. Probably the brown coats or something like that. Just a sad group, really. So, you should check your history. I mean, maybe you're proud of being a rapist and a murderer and a person that used to kill little children and rape little girls. But hey, not exactly a good thing. Anyway, though, a bunch of townspeople killed them. People like the Irish and Indians and Americans. A bunch of, well, everyone. I mean, they would raid towns and they would rape little girls. Kill people. So, they got killed. People self-defended themselves, or defended themselves in self-defense. And of course, they tried to murder. They tried to put them in jail for murder, saying that they had shot first, and therefore that was murder. Now it's called defense. Yeah, they tried to use the courts against the people, so it didn't work out for them. Anyway, though, but that's what the gray coats with red pants. That was Papa's Boys, and then there was, I don't know where the Crips are related to, probably the brown coats or someone like that. But anyway, they're basically just stealing uniforms and getting the public to pay for their own uniforms, and then they went around raping and killing. I think it was a party or something. Anyway, you know, JFK, Papa's Boys, all that stuff. So Lockheed embezzlement. That's what they did back in the old days. Anyway, it's pretty bad. So, I'm gonna say I'm Lucifer Star, you know, owner of the Titanic, the White Star Lines. You know, there's old pictures of the names used to be midsection on the ships. Used to say Lucifer White Star or Lucifer Star. So the ship. So, you know, like I said, that idiot picked up my name off the ship and then started using it. A couple other people did too.